Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. As we have discussed some important files of Angular CLI project in our previous video. So in this video, we will cover all the basic concepts of Angular 4 like components, templates, styles and modules and so on. Before starting it, let me tell you that Angular 4 application is totally component based application. Component based application means that this application will consist of components that those will be reusable in any other way. So let's start and discuss about the what is component. Component is the core thing in the Angular application. As we have as we have a web page, so in web page, uh, as you can see that if we declare the whole page as a component, so this will be our default component. Like uh, as you can see that in the Angular project you have a default component name with app component. So let's assume that this is our app component, and we will have we can also make our other components with our desired names. Let's suppose we have added our header component in the app component. We can also add footer component. This will also be another component. We can also add left menu component, and as we can also add details component. So by this we can understand that the whole application will be component based. So as we discussed that this is totally component based application, so why we what is the benefit of components? The major benefit of component is the reusability of code. Let's suppose you have a search component of student search component, and you have to use on all your pages. So you will just add render your that specific component on your required pages. So this is reusable. And also components makes us application maintainable. If you write all your script in one file for all of your pages, so it will be a mess. So to control this, you separate your logic into separate components to make it easier to understand and maintainable. It also supports the extendability of our application. So let's discuss more with some uh, with some work that how to create our first Angular component and what is the role of modules in this. So let's open our project in Visual Studio Code. As we have created my dream app in our previous videos, so let's continue with this application. I will go into the root folder, and if you press Ctrl Shift right click, then it will show open command window here command. So by benefit of this, it will open command window in this particular folder. As you can see, I am in my dream app folder. So let's run our application by executing command ng serve minus minus open. It will open our application in browser. Yes, it has opened our application in the browser. So guys, this is our output, and application has been loaded in the browser. So let's make our first component. As we have discussed that our application will reside in the src app folder, so all the components will be in this folder. So let's make our first component. I will add new file. So the naming convention for the component is, first you will write in the lowercase your component name. Let's suppose I will add vehicle component, so I will write vehicle dot component dot ts. TS stand for TypeScript files. So whenever I will add this file, it will open up the editor, and now I can write my our first component. So let's maximize it. Whenever you write any component, you need to basically TypeScript help you to code in just like server side way. You can make classes and objects and interact with these. So basically component will also be a class, so we'll use export keyword. So guys, this is our first component class. So guys, if we will write just this statement, it will show that this is simple a vehicle component class. So to make this a component, we will use the decorator that is also called its metadata. So in that decorator we will also define the metadata of this component. So this decorator basically will tell our compiler that this is a component. We can define decorator component, and we will pass a JavaScript object in it. We'll use the syntax at the rate component. So this cannot be found because we did not import the component library from Angular core. So let's import component from Angular core. So by importing this, you can see that there is no error. So now this will be our vehicle component. So to define metadata, we can set our options like selector option. Selector option will tells that how you can define that in the HTML page. You need to define a selector connected with your component. So wherever you will render this that element with selector name, so there your component will be rendered in that particular section. So let's define our selector with name vehicle, and we can also define template that basically this is will be the HTML of your uh, component. So will define simple h3 tag, and in it we will use double curly braces to tell that this is an Angular expression. So we will show the name of our vehicle, let's suppose, and we can also define uh, our style like this. It will be expecting an array of our styles. There is an error for vehicle. Let's check it. Selector component should have prefix app dash vehicle. So that's correct. So in this we can also define an array. Currently this array is empty, so there will be no error in it. So guys, this is our first component. As we have the name property of this vehicle component, so let's define the name property. We can define uh, name colon string data type. So this will be the name property, and in the constructor we can initialize our name property to any of vehicle name. Let's suppose Honda Accord. So this is it. Why this showing this error? So now this is okay. Whenever you will save the application, it will be running in the browser. So we have decorated our first vehicle component. Let's add into our default HTML page. Here you can see that uh, dash root component is rendered here. So let's render our own component right below. Our component selector was app dash vehicle, so it will be coming as app dash vehicle. So it means that our component will render here. So let's check the output in the browser. As you can see that there is no app dash vehicle rendered because we did not tell our module to render this component on application start on bootstrap. So whenever as per the cycle of execution, main.ts is bootstrapping the app module, but in the app module we did not tell that we have created our first vehicle component, and you need to show our vehicle component on the startup. So we will tell this that we have created vehicle component and you need to bootstrap it. So it app.module does not know that where it is, so we need to import its library. We'll type vehicle component, we'll give the path where our vehicle component is in the root folder, app.component. So here the thing that need to note that we do not apply.ts extension here. We'll just give the semicolon here. And what is the error? No, so there is no error. So another thing that we need to do is we need to declare our app component. I will tell you that what does mean by declarations, imports, and provider and bootstrap. So first we declare our, so now it's showing because I did not save the file. So in this way we can also